All right, Coach. Thank you for taking the time again this week to talk to me. I just wanted to start by asking you your general feeling of the team after a 4.5 point weekend against Dartmouth.
Yeah, that was a great weekend for us. And, the most points we've taken in a weekend, we had split the weekend before up in the North Country. So those 3 points were big for us. But to take a step forward and take 4.5 there was big. And I thought Dartmouth played a good series. It was tight the whole way through and just two really good games from us. And coming back on Saturday and being able to lock it down at home was great to see. Just some really good team efforts from us. And I feel like we keep taking steps forward in our game. So really happy with that weekend and now on to the next.
Awesome. And then Izzy Wynot, another solid game in net, earned another ECAC Rookie of the Week award, becoming the first Harvard player to win back-to-back Rookie of the Year awards since Jillian Dempsey. So can you just talk about her development, what makes her different from your other two goalies, and how she's kind of transitioned to the college game so quickly?
Yeah, Jillian Dempsey, classmate of mine. Shout out to her. I think anytime you're in a category with her, I mean, she's a program legend. And anytime you do something for the first time in 16 years, that deserves a tip of the cap. So really cool for Izzy. And I think, our talk about it all the time. Our goalie group is really solid all the way through. They work extremely hard. I think Izzy, she comes from the OWHA U22 up in Ontario, and I feel like that league really prepares players for the NCAA, and especially at the goaltending position. She's seen a high level of hockey, a high level of shots and offense coming her way for a long time. So I think she was prepared coming in here. She's come in ready to go. She works hard. She's very competitive, and that continues to help her be on her game and play really well when she's had opportunities. So that's been neat to see, and she certainly helped our team the last couple times out.
Awesome. And then just wanted to ask you about a couple of your other first years. That top line, El Sproul, Morgan McGathy, Carla McSweeney, got on the board twice in that second game against Dartmouth. Now with 8 games of experience, can you just talk about the progression you've seen in that group and how they're kind of coming into form here in these last few weeks?
Yeah, it's been fun to watch them play. They've helped us a ton just in terms of driving offense, creating chances. We tend to have the puck when they're out there. Their expected goals for when they're out is higher than the goals against. So that's always a good stat. And for us, I think they've helped us in the way that we play too, hunting down pucks, coming up with it, and then, having some jam on offense. So great to see them kind of break through on Saturday. Those were huge goals, especially, both of them really, but that third one felt like pretty important insurance at that time in the game, late in the second. And, they're just, I think for them, the biggest transition to college is a lot of pace and physicality, but also just from a tactical perspective, maybe not being able to do some of the things they did before and how to adjust to that and conserve so that they can turn over pucks and then go have energy to play on offense. So they've just gotten better and better. They continue to work extremely hard, and I think we'll see them continue to help us a lot out there.
Then I wanted to ask you about defense, which has been pretty stellar this season. It's a top 10 scoring defense right now. Kind of what's just been the core at the core of that success. It seems like it's not just one person or a group of people; it's everybody kind of contributing, blocking shots again. So I just wanted to ask you about what you attribute the defense's success to this season.
Yeah, I'd say a couple things. When you have goaltending that you can rely on, that's really helpful. People always say that about the penalty kill too, right? Your goalies, you got to be your best penalty killer, and I feel like that's what we've gotten from our goalies. They are great in practice. They make us better there, and then in games, again, all three have played, and when they have their opportunities, they've been really good for us, and it really starts with them. But I also think that's something we've been building over the last couple of years. Had a program record in block shots last year, despite not getting maybe the results we wanted consistently throughout the year. And I think, habits often come before results. So I think that's what we're seeing now is that really has been a style that our returners have taken a lot of pride in. They've led us in that area. we want to be tough to play against. We're going to play together in our own end. I just think, our leadership has done a great job of leaning into that and making sure that that's a hallmark of our play no matter what. Of course, we want to have the puck more, we want to score more goals, but we're not going to lose sight of who we are in our own end, which is we're going to protect our house and make sure it's extremely hard to get there and create chances against us. So just really proud of our team for that and want to continue to play that way. With a younger team, it's a lot of trial by fire and learning in game reps, and I think we've done a good job of that too. So just want to continue to do that and really, keep being on the same page defensively and continuing to learn, when we do have to make switches, how to make them as quickly as possible, anticipate well. That's when you could become really, you turn defense into offense quickly. So proud of our group so far and just want to keep it going.
Great. And then you mentioned it there a little bit, but penalty kill has been on fire the last few games in particular. So I just wanted to ask you if there's anybody in particular on that group that has really led the charge in kind of what's been driving that group's success so far.
Yeah, it starts with the goalies again. I mean, you look at the Dartmouth game on Saturday, we took three penalties in the first period, and our PK did a lot of good, but I would say Emily Davidson was the star of that show to make sure that the puck stayed out of the net early. That could be a completely different game if that wasn't the case. So our goalies have been great. That gives the PK some confidence to, try to jump some plays, be aggressive. I think Meredith Roth, our associate head coach, she's worked on our PK and just done a great job and made sure we're pressing more, we're pressuring more when we can, and have reads to do that and make sure we're all on the same page. But I think yeah, we've had good jump on it, and then the other thing with our team is everybody's either on the penalty kill or the power play right now, or potentially both. But everybody's doing special teams, and I think that just speaks to the depth of our lineup, and it's really helped us stay fresh on both sides of it. So, yeah, our forward and our whole D group has been killing, and then handful of forwards who have just done a really good job of, like I said, pressing, getting sticks on pucks, disrupting. We've turned it into a couple chances the other way, which is really exciting. So, yeah, really happy with where it is right now, and know that we'll continue to be challenged, and it's going to start from the net out, and want to keep doing what we're doing there.
Thanks, coach. And then last one from me. What does the team need to key on in this week just to get ready for two more games against a couple of ranked teams?
Yeah, it's great to get the opportunity to play ranked opponents as frequently as we do, and just in such a strong league, and it's such a fun league to play in. We get Ivy League matchups. There's no shortage of excitement around playing Yale and Brown, and I think for these games this weekend, both those teams, they play fast, they transition fast. I expect them both to be really good on the rush, and that's something we want to be ready for, and not only staying up on those plays for our D, which we've worked a ton on, but also get good help back from our forwards, and again, take a lot of pride in what happens at our net. So I think they're going to be fast. I'd expect them to be games that are up and down the ice, kind of like track meets, and we want to be able to use our speed and play fast too. So it should be really fun. Great rinks to play in, and just looking forward to another road trip where we get a lot of time together.
Awesome, coach. Thanks so much.